Castlevania Nocturne Season 2 was just released, and after Season 1, we had really low expectations, as Season 1 was pretty lame, and we got Richter Baby Belmont. And so going into this, we did not expect much. But I don't think we expected much of anything, to be honest. But this season was definitely better than Season 1. But also, as I said, pretty low bar. But this season was great. I really enjoyed it. Episode 1, for those who are watching from Season 1, seeing if you want to get interested in Season 2, just as a disclaimer, Season 1, Episode 1 is the slowest and worst episode. So try to get past the first one and try to get to the rest of them because it does get better, I promise. But this season was good. The action, I think, in this season was perhaps some of the best out of any of the Castlevania seasons, including the previous iteration. It was really well done. It was very artistic and well choreographed. I liked seeing Belmont actually fight with magic instead of the entire first season where he's just, again, baby Belmont. So it was really nice seeing that here. And I liked how season 2 picked up exactly where season 1 left off, where this kind of just felt like one long season instead of two separate seasons, which I thought was well done. But there was a little bit of a gap where we ended in season 1. There's a bit of a disconnect where we picked up in season 2. They just kind of skipped over an event that seems like we should have seen it. And other than that, it was very artistic. The animation is gorgeous. I mean, I feel like animation just keeps getting better and better as the years go on, and this show is no exception. It's always had gorgeous animation, but damn, it looks so good, and they're using every penny of it. I also really like the characters. I know last season I was not a fan of any of the characters, actually, but going from this season, I'm a huge fan of Richter and Annette. I really like them together. I liked the journey that they went on. I love seeing more Alucard. He is such a fun character, and he's just such a badass to watch fight. I actually cared about what was going on with Maria because I don't recall liking her that much in the previous one. She's kind of just eh. But the arc she had with her father, with her mother, with her powers, and with Juiced, I thought was very well done. I mean, I feel like all the character arcs were really good, surprisingly, except for the villains.
I had zero expectations of this season. Season one of Castlevania Nocturne, it sucked. I mean, nothing great happened. No, best thing that happened in that series was that Alucard showed up at the very end of the last episode. That was it. It was awesome to see him again. And I am a huge fan of the games, not all of them. And I love season one of the original series. It's probably my favorite season out of all of them. Just seeing Dracula, Trevor Belmont, Sypho Belnata's Alucard. And then, so it was kind of hard to top that. Season one just didn't do it for me. And season two of Castlevania Nocturne completely turned it around for me. The action is badass. Just seeing, as Griff said, a Belmont use magic as well as his whip that's been passed down by several generations. And we get two Belmonts in this one. The story wasn't as well developed for me as I would have wanted it to. The villains didn't make all the sense in the world, but they were still able to pull it off. They did kind of the cheesy thing where, like, at the end, the second to last episode, you fight the big boss, and I was like, well, is this fight gonna last two episodes?
I would have been
And
okay with
then
that.
yeah, and then we get a surprise big, it's kind of like that final boss of a video game. Um, it it worked. They were able to pull it off. I'm happy with the show. It ends in a way that this particular iteration of it kind of concludes.
And Edward, and let us know in the comments your thoughts as well. Ideally, if this is the last season of Nocturne, which Belmont would you want to see next?
Uh, Leon Belmont, the first Belmont, his whole falling out with Dracula, because many of you guys, if you don't know, him and Dracula actually started off as friends. Dracula wasn't always this vampire guy. And it explains in the game, it explains like what happened, their falling out and everything like that. I'd like to see that a prequel series of like how the Belmonts embarked on this quest to like forever be cursed with having to hunt down Dracula and being vampire killers. I would really like to see that. And then it's also, I'm a sucker for this. It's one of these things where two really, really good friends start off as
You do
brothers,
love
and
that.
then they just, something happens where they become mortal enemies, whether it's Obi-Wan Kenobi, uh, you know, many other of our beloved heroes, they split, and Dracula didn't start off as a villain. He just, something happened. They had a falling out, and now Dracula's evil, and the Belmonts have sworn to defend Earth from them. I want to see that.
Yeah, no, I do agree. I think that'll be really cool because I mean, if they're going to continue the show, as Edward said, this is pretty conclusive. There's one loose thread they could tug on, but they really don't have to. It's this is a good ending. Richter's kind of the end. There's one more Belmont after him, but I feel like since they've made so much for Richter's story up that they've drawn inspiration but didn't really reference the games too much, they could just make their own Belmonts. But if I had to choose one, I think Leon would be a very good option. He is Trevor's dad, and I feel like that could be something fun to see. But if the show ends here, I wouldn't be upset.
I mean, there's still a lot of stories to be told. I just don't. Let's be honest. It's at the end of the day, it's a business. It's a money-making machine. I want to believe that this is going to do crazy numbers for them and that people are going to love it. If Netflix gets those numbers, I just don't see them not cashing in on it and saying, "Hey, okay, let's get start." Because here's the thing with Castlevania, it's kind of like The Legend of Zelda. You can go backwards, forwards, in the middle, or I really like Griffin's idea, make some new shit up.
Yeah, I think.
Don't you're not bound by the games. Because let's be honest, season 1 through 4 didn't exactly follow the games to the T, and that was good. It's okay when you can take creative liberties like that, but make it your own and make it good. To be fair, rarely does that happen, but when it does happen, and it's as good as season 1 through 4 of the original series, perfect. Um, so yeah, this could be. I would even like it to continue live action if someone's interested in. But I think there's stories to be told, and I also really like Griffin's idea. Break away from the games and make some new shit up. You have the characters, you have the bases there. Continue
Yeah,
with the Belmonts, continue with Dracula, continue with vampires, but tell different stories. Tell other stories.
yeah. I know Edward and I discussed this before, but Dracula's still alive. He could come back. Let us know in the comments. Do you want him
Well,
to
he
come
comes
back? Are
back every
you
100 years in the game, so
true? But I'm okay with him having his happy ending. I'm okay if they leave it there.
I would be too. But if they bring him back, uh, I don't know how they would. I don't
I don't know
because
how
in
they
the
would.
games, in the and even though I'm a fan of the games, in the games, it never makes any fucking sense why he comes back
It's a
every
crutch.
100 years. He's
It's an easy
rested.
villain.
Yeah, he's rested for 100 years, and he just all of a sudden he comes back, and there just so happens to be Belmonts, and they go and hunt him down, and they always defeat him. In Because this is visual and we get to see it and things like I don't exactly know because as Griff said, if you watched the original series 1 through 4, he gets a happy ending. Even him and his wife decide let's not even fuck with their kid. Let's let him have his own life and let's just you and I eat apples and drink wine all fucking day long.
You know,
So why he would return? I hope they don't fucking kill his wife again because now she's a vampire.
that would be
So
bullshit. But now that you mentioned that, one thing I am surprised about for this season is Alucard mentioned he's been traveling for several generations of Belmonts. I do we think he went and visited his mom and dad?
no, because he doesn't know they're back.
I need to rewatch
Yeah.
season 3 and 4.
And they haven't they kept to it. They want him to have a life. They've stayed the hell away from him, which is hard as a parent to do. So respect Dracula and Lisa for that. But yeah, why he would come back? Shit, now I'm leaning more towards leaving him alone because I
Yeah.
he can't just come back because I'm Dracula.
And if they
I
kill his
want to
wife
suck
again, it's
people's blood.
boring.
Yeah, if they kill and they can't kill his wife because she's immortal like him now too. So no, I don't. It would have to take an amazing writer to convince me like, oh, he's back. This is why he's back. It makes total sense. Because other than that,
Okay, okay,
just
I
leave him
have
alone.
one. I have okay, potential plot line.
Don't kill
If
Alucard.
okay, never mind.
No. I mean, yeah, he would come back for that, but no, leave him the fuck alone.
Like if
He's
Alucard was lynched like Lisa was.
First of all, if you can come up with the battalion that can do that to Alucard, because he has all of his
Yeah,
mother's traits and he has all of his father's powers. And we saw him use two of his father's
too. That was
particular,
so cool.
and it was awesome. I would want to see that. I would want to see, first of all, remember, you're living in this time and you know he's a vampire. And not only that, but you know he's a son of Dracula. I wouldn't even fuck with him. I'd be like, plus, he's not a threat. He's not like he's out there massacring people. So why anyone would be like, you know what, let's gather up the troops and let's go hunt him down. First of all, good fucking luck. Second of all, you're gonna bring it on you.
I'm talking about purely in
I
Castlevania universe here.
Yeah.
The
Yeah. No,
church has done
I
worse.
get you.
The church would do it.
I you're totally right. And I could see Dracula. I could even see his mother
So,
like
okay,
trying to avenge, but that would be
yeah,
lame.
his mother 100% would, and that's why I think would drag. That's what would drag Dracula into it. I think that'd be kind of cool. That would be kind of
That would be
cool.
kind of cool.
And
That'd
then
be
if
fucked
you
up because I
have
really like Alucard, but I could
would
see,
that
I
would
could
be
see
something
not,
new.
I could see not Dracula embarking on this crusade,
No,
but
it'd be Lisa,
his mother being like, you know what?
and Dracula's just along for the ride.
No, I think it would be something like Lisa's like, you know what? You were fucking right.
And
They don't
then
deserve it, and then we're all fucked.
did you would you then want to see Castlevania in modern times? Because as technology gets more and more closer, as it gets closer and closer to modern times, the ability to kill vampires gets easier. Do you think then that would also be a potential plot point they can use in future stories to, if they did want to kill Alucard, they go more advanced technology and get closer to the 21st century?
They could, but when that's been tried in movies and in lore, Dracula 2000, all these other fucking movies, they have never been really good. It's
Fair.
hard. It's hard to do a good vampire movie uh, in Renaissance or in the past, in the future, because people want to shoot lasers and shit like that.
I'm just imagining tech vampires now.
Yeah, I mean, we've all seen Underworld. Those movies, I think the first one was good. The rest of them haven't been, and that's because, they just spun off into all this nonsense. No, it's just although I would be interested in seeing a Belmont in today's world,
Yeah.
keeping the legacy of the Belmont. I don't want to see the Belmonts end. That makes no goddamn sense. So yeah, I guess, but again, it would take really talented writers, and all I could say is please don't fuck this up.
Hopefully find out if we get a season three confirmation or a new series coming up. But at the
Probably a
moment,
new series. And
that's what
and
I'm
I'm telling
thinking.
you guys right now, if we get an announcement that we're we're doing a prequel and it's Leon Belmont, shit,
You could
forget
probably
it.
expect a video about it.
That would
It's
absolutely.
just gonna be 15 minutes of Edward fangirling over Leon
And if
for
you guys ever get like, would you want to see this in live action? And who would you want to see? Because I told Griffin, I was like, if we get, and this may never happen, but if we did, I would want Ben Barnes as Trevor Belmont and Ana de Armas as Sypha Belnatus. And if you don't agree with me, you just don't know what the hell you're talking about. Don't.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you haven't seen our season one review of Nocturne, please go check that out. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you guys next time.
Take care, guys.